They whispered to each other that when Viserys lived, there was peace.
Whispers tear down stone.
They can.
Break shields.
They definitely can.
Do not underestimate your subjects.
Hello everyone, this is Venus Brown. I'm here with another episode of House of the Dragon, Season 2. This is Episode 5 called Regent. Now, I haven't read the information about it, but that name definitely entails that they're going to need a regent to come in to take the place of probably Aegon, because Aegon just got himself taken out. Not taken out dead. I know some people thought he died. I'm pretty sure he did not die. But taken out as in he's pretty much on his deathbed. I do think he eventually sort of makes it. Never really quite the same, but he is, at least according to the books, he's fairly well out of it for a long time. And if I recall correctly, in the books, they say he's pretty much doped up on milk of the poppy, much like his father was. And sometimes you gotta wonder, was Viserys being deliberately kept on milk of the poppy? And in this case, I think Aegon's going to have to be on milk of the poppy, but does that use of milk of the poppy get used more than it should, longer than it should, in more excessive doses than it should, just to keep him out of the picture? I definitely wouldn't put it past any of them. But it's time to get to the show, so let's get started. All right, y'all, let's see how Aegon is looking. See if he looks much like his dad did before he died. Well, this is not King's Landing. Oh, gotta deal with Rhaenys being gone. This is gonna suck. I hope he does not react like presented in the book. Hey, that's how my oranges looked about last time we got them from the grocery store. Not that bad, but seriously, several of them were already bad.
Behold! The traitor dragon Meleys! Slain at Rook's Rest by your king! Mark my words, this is a black omen.
I think this was one of the images that was leaked early on from filming when they dragged Mickey's head through the street.
Barbecue for everyone!
I wonder how that would taste. You know, if dragons were real and you had barbecue dragon.
It's an abomination.
Don't they realize we won the battle?
Strange victory.
Strange victory.
It was one.
I mean, and the fact that you killed Rhaenys Dragon, a lot of them may know who Rhaenys is and have a decent amount of respect for her.
I'm guessing the king is in that box.
Meleys!
I thought the dragons was gods.
It's just me.
You know, if it was like Resident Evil and the eye just opened up as it was rolling down the street. But it's not. It's not Resident Evil. Even though there is some weird shit that goes on these shows. Not that. Look at that dress.
Is he alive?
His grace remains with us for the moment.
Oh, gross. Burns are fucking awful and painful. Like, there's parts of them that you can't feel, but parts of them that you can are so freaking horribly painful, irritated. And I've never been burnt like that, but
So
I've
I'm going to
had
die.
burns on me.
I'm afraid I cannot say. If you'll excuse me, Your Grace, these next hours are most critical.
Someone will have to rule in his stead.
And who might you think that is? You.
Okay. I took her, put that on his wound.
Like acid and salt. That sounds wonderful.
Makes more sense where they're doing that.
Oh my gosh. What happened? Okay. And my burns were not nearly as bad. They definitely were far less. And they actually hurt a lot worse later on as they were healing. They just kept cracking open and oozing.
His Grace thought valiantly.
And Aemond? What was his part in this?
He dealt the projecting fire.
After some marital spat.
Oh, cry about it.
Do you take issue with me, Sir Alfred?
They always take
My
issue
loyalty
with
to
you.
you is proven, my queen.
But your willingness to give me deference in a time of war.
It is merely that the gentler sex, heretofore, has not been much privy to the strategies of battle.
Whose fault is that?
There has been peace in our lifetime. You've seen no more battles than I have.
Yeah, dumbass. Tourney battles. That is not the same thing. And I highly doubt any of you were on the stepstones.
They are lost already, but Vagar is depleted after such a hard-fought battle.
If Aemond is dead, we will soon know it.
Time is ripe. Strike King's Landing before their dragon is recovered.
Then I myself must do it.
My queen, you are the crown. It is out of the question.
What would you have me do?
Where are you going?
To Harrenhal. Treat with the Daemon.
Uh-oh.
And you think you will tame him, when the Queen herself could not?
My mother gladly sends you away. I'm here being forced to play the coddled princeling. It's humiliating.
It only protects you. You are the succession.
I must be seen to act for her claim and mine. The phrase. They control the crossing at the Twins. If his men had a direct route into the Riverlands, we would not have to wait for Daemon to act. I will treat with the phrase to secure it.
She will not like it.
It's better than requesting to go and fight with the dragons. You're talking about diplomacy rather than something much more dangerous.
Dragon is hungry.
Oh! Daemon finally came out of Harrenhal.
Bend the knee or your house burns.
I would sooner be the Lord of Bones and Cinders than bend my knee before some heathen Blackwood cunt. We choose fire.
Oh boy. Oh, they didn't even show it.
I did not think they would be so eager to die. You should have indulged them. I need them alive.
He didn't kill him.
They are pig-headed, intransigent.
They would rather burn than succumb. Exactly the kind of men I need. We have fought them for an age and more. Perhaps you could try less fighting and more persuading.
They are unyielding in battle.
But every man has a weakness. You take my meaning, then.
And you guys have been battling each other for freaking eons. You should have some clue what their weaknesses are.
Show them your worst.
That armor.
Yeah, that's pretty cool armor.
Fucking details.
Protection. A dragon. Then she has exceeded your terms. She sent two. Both still wet from the egg. I've hunting hounds that are more fearsome. I do not recall you specifying.
Yep, you got what you asked for.
Will you go with me, child? Our bread and shelter now depend on my pleasure. The dragons will grow. In time. I don't have time.
Why?
I mislike feeling powerless. So do I.
So maybe you can work together on empowering each other.
My sympathies for the death of your grandmother.
You did not prepare me to fight. If I had been a son, a sword thrust into my
But
hand.
he prepared you to lead, sort of. He did not prepare your people for you to lead, and that is the problem.
And they know it. And Daemon as well.
Shall your evening meal be served here, Your Grace?
Not now. The path I walk has never been trod.
Kristen Cole made a mistake. Parading a dragon's head through the streets like a prize of war. The people see an ill omen.
Yes, as do I.
They are afraid. Bread is scarce. They whisper to each other that when Viserys lived, there was peace.
Will whispers tear down stone?
They can.
Break shields?
They definitely can.
Do not underestimate your subjects. For 1,000 living in the shadow of the Red Keep and forgotten.
You think they will turn to me?
The discontented, rumors are feed. What you cannot do, let others do for you. There is more than one way to fight a war.
And one of those dragons coming down, I think, could also, I don't know exactly how that will make the small folk feel, but some of them thought they were like gods. If they see now that they can be taken down, that could cause all kinds of chaos.
Did your grandmother ever tell you of the night she claimed Melees?
She snuck into the dragon pit.
She knew that place better than any elder. They said she could see in the dark.
My father was furious. His own mother's dragon, the fastest beast ever known, and she'd have none of him, but bent her neck to Rhaenys.
She was fierce, in love and in anger. She did not always care for me. For what she gave me in the end, I'm grateful.
More loyal to you than any of those men.
You are very like her in some ways. And with her gone, I must rely on you, I think. Would you give this to your grandsire? I do not wish to stand alone.
Daemon. The fearless dragon rider.
Who's this supposed to be?
Viserys was unsuited for the crown. Daemon, you were made to wear it.
Who is she supposed to be?
If only you'd been born first. My favorite son.
Oh, his mother.
Is the duck not to your liking, Your Grace?
I like the goose myself. I'm not hungry. We must ready the castle to receive a great host.
You seem sure of this.
It's a matter of showing them whom it behooves them to follow. How does the work here progress?
The roof alone has needed tending since the reign of Aenys, and the storerooms and the wailing tower. The bats have made the corridors almost impassable with the quantity of
their shit.
There's, of course, the matter of payment. After Larys transferred his family's wealth to King's Landing.
Is there any gold left in your coffers?
Enough to keep this small establishment fed and warm. I rather thought, Your Grace, perhaps she could provide the necessary coin, if you could only write to her.
No. I shall guarantee the payment myself. You should address me as my king.
But you're the prince.
What would you call the husband of the queen?
The king.
There it is, then.
Consort.
That last bit seems unnecessary, don't you think?
Oh, Daemon.
I fear there are more injuries within. Injuries we cannot see.
Of course there are.
Has he woken?
No, I'm not sure he will ever wake. king's fate lies with the gods.
Did you have a candidate in mind, Your Grace?
I myself served in this role for my husband. I am well prepared to do it again.
Your part admirably in a time of peace, Your Grace. Obvious choice, Prince Aemond.
His lack of restraint has already cost us dearly.
It is experience that offers the surest path to security. Queen Alicent ably shouldered the duties of the realm when her husband's health failed him.
Experience is valuable, yes, but the Dowager Queen is a woman.
Now get over yourself.
His skill is best employed in the field, but my experience is needed here, at this table.
We must show strength. It must be Prince Aemond. What would it say if in response Tyranny raised up a woman of our own?
It's a regent, and whoever's in charge of the kingdom isn't supposed to be going out to battle anyway, for the most part.
Aemond is the next in line. It must be him.
It's agreed, then.
A person experienced in battle does not have to be the regent. Somebody who has diplomacy and planning skills and things like that can be a regent during a wartime.
Quicken in space and check the rivermen while their banners are in disarray.
I shall send Lord Jason.
They have grown weary.
Then let the gates be closed, and so forth. What are your tasks? Someone cut down the fucking rat catchers.
Where would you have us go? For all we know, every road leads into the Dragon's Teeth.
Like the one they carted through the streets. You think Rhaenyra will let such an affront go unchallenged? We should make for Tumbleton.
You would have me turn beggar.
Your kid is sick.
Are we not beggars already?
As sick as she's been for as long as she has been, she's
The
probably
king
gonna
has
die,
promised
but
payment.
The king has lied. Stay and wait for his empty promises, husband. With them you can feed the mouths of ghosts.
yeah, that's what happens when you leave rotting bodies hanging for that long.
Aemond is the next in line. It is the order of things.
You know what he is, what he has somehow become. Has your loyalty faded, or does it flourish only at night and flee the sunrise like a moth?
What I saw at Rook's Rest, their armour melted. Were men walking, they were on fire.
We have given the war to the dragons.
The Dragon Rider should lead us.
And what of justice? Of temperance, or...
Are you still trying to delude yourself with this stuff?
So you cast me aside?
Have I not spared you? What we must do now is terrible. Will you preside over it? Is this who you are, Alison?
I did not give you leave to speak my name.
I don't know. Last episode, the last battle before he left, he seemed like he was acting like he felt cast aside or something.
Stay back! Get him out! Somebody...
Yep. Gonna piss your people off, and they are going to be ready for a new ruler when one
Aemond
comes.
Targaryen, regent and protector of the realm.
Does he mean the king?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Fear lies in Vhagar.
You fear a dragon, leagues away, when mine own sits outside your walls.
Bigger is much bigger.
Do you offer us your protection?
I do, and the protection of my uncle.
And Daemon, I'm sure, has consented to this?
He will do as his queen commands.
It occurs to me that dragons cannot be in two places at once.
What do you want?
Larys Strong has been relieved of his castle. Does the Queen intend to raise up a new lord?
You want Harrenhal?
That's what it sounds like. It's not a place I would want, but to each their own. Power is power.
For that, my mother will want more than your crossing.
What does her grace desire?
Bent knees.
Bend the knee. Looks like that Frey meeting went a lot better than the one on Game of Thrones.
Sit. Sit. Hear strange things from Brackenland, Stonehead, and Lambswold, and Moray.
There's news then?
No. What I hear in the wind. Cries of anguish. Children being taken from their mothers, coming home to find their doors unlatched, their wives carried away.
War is a terrible thing.
Yeah.
This is not war. These are crimes against the innocent that any upright man would repudiate.
They will perhaps think better of their decision if their children's lives are staked on it.
Serve you under duress.
Set an example.
And once again, in the name of power, it's the weak and the women who must endure.
The realm will suffer if Aemond One Eye rules. It will cut you down soon as wish you good day.
I'd heard the same thing about you. But I'll cross you no further. I'm sure your tactics are, after all, approved by the Queen.
She cannot succeed, Alice. Even if I willed it to be so, people who support her will not be led by her. They look to a man for strength. Who's better suited to it? The High Towers or Viserys' first true heir? When I take King's Landing, Rhaenyra is welcome to take her place by my side. King and Queen, ruling together.
And if you lose?
Then I'll be dead, and none of this will be my problem.
Pity, don't you think, that you never knew your mother?
A message. Fresh news from Stonehenge. Lord Amos has pledged his banner to you. Bracken is yours.
Also William here, so that I might congratulate him.
Oh boy. Hi.
My castle is a tomb. Empty.
I am sad to have missed its highest days. I imagine your Hall of Nine filled with lords and kings, all eager to treat with the legendary Lord of the Tides. The wealth you brought back from Yi Ti and a shy, inspiring awe and envy. I wonder if any of them knew it was all for her. Queen Rhaenyra wishes to name you Hand.
Even the death of my wife does not content her.
It is a sign of her great esteem.
But does she think the position will compensate me for my loss?
Pledge your peace to King's Landing, then. They will accept it most gleefully.
Rather, I would sail into the west and be lost.
You have done so before, at great cost to yourself and those who loved you. Rhaenys was not only your wife, not a thing to be taken from you. She was a Targaryen princess. The queen who never was, and she flew to Rook's Rest of her own will, in defense of her kin.
And she died.
She died as she would have wished to die. With honor, in Dragonfire, the way my mother chose. And the way I myself wish to meet my end. But I carry her on with me. I will see Rhaenyra ascend the Iron Throne, as Rhaenys wished, as Rhaenys herself should have. You yourself may do as you see fit.
Granddaughter, I would make you my heir.
I am blood and fire. Driftmark must pass to salt and sea.
She's giving you permission.
You were correct in saying our best hope of an army is with Daemon. I wish you to go to Harrenhal.
Are you removing me from your council?
Sir Alfred. I will not deny you have tried my patience of late. But you and your house served my father well, and I know you will never accept the Hightower claim.
Not while I live, Your Grace.
I ask you to reason with him, find out his state of mind and his intentions, whether he means to raise a host for me or for himself.
He would not dare.
You think?
Have you known Daemon to lack in daring?
I do wonder if most of the rumors that said were spread in the books were mostly because of Daemon, and mostly spread by Daemon.
Tell him I would much like to finish our last conversation.
Or mostly
Your Grace.
actions taken by Daemon that the small folk took as actions from Rhaenyra, when in fact they were from Daemon. I am kind of surprised at how receptive he's been to Alice.
What is it, Sir Simon?
The River Lords have come. They wish an audience.
What godless hour is it?
The wolf. They are demanding to speak presently.
You got what you asked for, Daemon. Or at least, maybe.
Is there some reason you feel free to wake a king in his bed?
There have been complications.
Bracken lands were looted and burned.
As were the fields and farms. Peasants put to the sword.
They pursued the women and the children. There were works of barbarity.
The Brackens were given their chance. They would not see reason.
The Blackwoods to visit atrocities upon their old rivals.
I have seen my fair share of their quarrels, and I tell you there is no honour in a fight such as this.
What of common decency?
These beasts proudly carried the banner of House Targaryen. Red dragon on black.
A terrible war is being fought in these lands. Have you looked after our girls?
Not at all.
We should have expected nothing more from a man who ordered the slaughter of a child.
That is a lie, and I will have the man who told it brought before me.
Is half the kingdom, my prince.
Know this, interloper. The Riverlands are an ancient place, watched closely by the eyes of old gods and new. And dragon or no, we shall not raise our banners for a tyrant.
Daemon, did your plan backfire massively? So you got the people in the Red Keep revolting.
For the Lady Missaria.
People in the Riverlands revolting.
I thought she was dead.
Would she die without collecting her due? I must see an old friend.
Who's she going to see? Isn't that Rhaenyra's maiden? Oh, when I saw her at the at that bar that they were at, I wonder, is that the girl from earlier in the series that Aegon had gotten pregnant, that Alicent had drank the draft and chased away? Because I think she looks like her.
Was it worth the price?
Somebody knows your secret, Aemond.
Visenya.
Vhagar's first rider, and the first wielder of Dark Sister.
I hope you do not mean to use her as an example.
Why shouldn't I?
It was a long time ago.
What is the mood at the Twins?
Wishes for the phrase to be granted Harrenhal.
I'm proud of you, Jace. You've done our cause a great service.
Then why do you look angry?
You chafed at being prevented from action. Imagine, my lord, I'm a dragon rider as well. War being fought over my ascension. Even you've managed to do your part.
You are the queen. Tie that binds us.
You're my son, and I did not give you leave to go.
Do not give me leave to go to anything.
But who else is there, Rhaenys?
Baylor cannot bear the burden alone.
And when Aemond comes hunting for you, will you fly before Vhagar as Luke did? Aemond now rules in King's Landing.
Is Aegon dead?
Dead or alive, we have no answer for Vhagar. I have done all I can from here. If all else fails, it is I who must fight. Vhagar is big. Syrax is quick.
So was Meleys.
Meleys fought 2 dragons and one of them is slain. I need dragons.
We have no dearth of dragons.
If only they had riders, none could stand against me.
Rhaena.
Who nearly lost her life in her last attempt.
There are those of our line who never ruled, who married their children.
Blood would be thin.
And yet...
The dragon will only accept a dragon lord to ride it, say the histories.
Valyrian, written to gild us in glory.
He makes a very valid point.
On a dragon. Matali.
It's better than death and defeat.
There are records here. Surely. Of our line. And of those who fell out of it.
Get cracking.
There could be scores of them.
It's a mad thought.
See, I think in the book, they presented this idea as coming from Daemon. I like the idea that it came from Jacaerys better than from Daemon. Because Daemon's just making hell. Ay. Yeah, I can see all this freaking chaos being sown on both sides. It's not helpful. It's going to have people thinking both rulers are awful tyrants or inept, whatever the case might be, that they're being ruled by tyrants, whether it's the ruler themselves or somebody in their stead. Anyway, that's all I got for you this week. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Until next time, I'll see you when I see you. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you want more content, click subscribe. If you click that little bell and click all, then you'll get more content notifications.